a completely different note, I was wondering if you could talk about the theme of autoimmune diseases. Because it's interesting to see that sort of on a global human level, there are more and more different versions of the body attacking itself, popping up everywhere, and the labels that come with it. I was just wondering if you could speak about how we can transcend that sort of on the physical level.
Yes, I love that you say that, because ultimately what I've learned in 55 years of playing around with bodies and life is that there is nothing that erupts in the physical body that doesn't have an emotional content. Yes. So when we say autoimmune, what we mean is there's not enough sense of self, whether that's the cells creating environments that are overrule or overpower negative energies, positive, what are called positive currents, which are actually negative, within the environment of the body, to not be overrun by them. Anytime you're working with an autoimmune system, you're working with an emotional mind that is scattered and torn and confused about the sense of self and the sense of purpose. And so I have seen absolute miracles when people who have autoimmune diseases or deficiencies begin to sort of come to a place that says, wait, I don't want this anymore. Spontaneous healing of terrible nerve irritations and pain and things that incapacitate people. Always when people are incapacitated, there's something in them that says, I'm too weak, I'm not strong enough, I can't do it. And so the body hears that as a point of reference of truth, and it just enacts that in the physical. We know that if you keep your body alkaline in form, positive organisms cannot grow. Cancer cannot grow, fungi cannot grow, parasites cannot grow, bacteria cannot survive. And so really, it's fairly simple to, let's say, protect or prevent autoimmune diseases. On the other side of that, if we come down with an autoimmune system, whether it's something as simple as an allergy, it's really an opportunity in which the body's saying, stop, stop, something is overpowering me. And it's a story of my life force energy. It's a story of my power to rejuvenate or to recreate myself, to reinvent who I am on all levels of the being. And if we looked at it in that way, we could get rid of autoimmune deficiencies instead of looking for the next drug that will overpower some part of the body, which will allow the symptoms to go away, because as we say in Chinese medicine, take away the symptoms, they will be pushed deeper into the body. 10, 20 years later, that poisoning of the body will erupt in a much stronger way and harm us. And so in Chinese medicine, it's always about pushing the energy back out of the body, not allowing it to sink down in, not to cover the symptoms, but to look at the symptoms from a spiritual and an emotional sense. We have, as you know, here at the Light Institute, a set of sessions called Soul Lessons Through the Body. And so it's a way of saying, well, I have an allergy or I have an autoimmune disease. When did it happen? How did it get into me? What does it mean to me? What is the story of it? And as we explore those things, which are fascinating, we begin to recognize that there's nothing wrong with us. Having a disease or something does not mean you're less spiritual or that you're less successful. It just means stop. You have hit the bump in the road. You have hit that point of karma that has matured at this moment. And it's saying, pay attention to me. And when we say, yes, I'll pay attention, we're able to cure that. So look at the cultures and the reality of people around the world. This is a time when many of the safeguards of our sense of self have broken down. We're not entrapped in tribes. We don't get up and go to bed and know that everything is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We do not know what's coming to us or how our responses will be, or if our world will exist. We have the boogeyman on every level of our consciousness, and all of that energy, the boogeyman energy, is there to wake us up and allow us to come to the place of the cosmic giggle. So these diseases, autoimmune system, are very simple. They are based on the principle that the body cannot discern what's mine and what's not mine. And so it attacks itself. It may attack itself because a person has had many years of being attacked by others and have bought into a self-interpretation that says, I am unworthy, or I deserve to suffer, or I'm too weak. All of those possibilities are definitely a part of the story, you know. And so we have not taught. It's something I'm working on right now, by the way, a little plug, because I'm doing a book called Potential Body. And I'm not talking about protecting or preventing the body. I'm talking about viewing the body in this way, you know, in a way that allows us to really listen and learn and command our bodies in a completely different way that we haven't learned to do in the past. As we do that, and then the body will be able to say, wait, I'm not affected by this pollen. It's just the tree reproducing itself. I applaud you, tree. It's not about me there, etc. Or the hair of a dog, so to speak, whatever it is, that we can use our consciousness to say, this is all right. It takes the level of safety and connection in the body to a new octave, you know, where we really can help our bodies to identify, yes, that's a virus, go get it, you know, and no, that's just a little cell in here, you don't have to fuss about it. Educating ourselves and our consciousness and educating our body is a lifetime adventure. And so these autoimmune, and let me put another piece into this puzzle. One of the things that I've observed in working in the healing field is the power of our collective consciousness. You know, a long time ago, everybody got heart disease. And then everybody got diabetes. And then everybody got immune deficiency diseases. And then everybody gets the next disease. We do this outside of our cultures, outside of our the places that we live. So there's something that happens. Maybe that something is not just, it certainly is, but not just our psychic connection to each other, but maybe it's that we as a soul group, as a soul family on this planet, are coming to waves and waves of new experiences and energies that are occurring. And so each of these waves are inviting us, challenging us to step forward and to dissolve that one. It's like the energies of karma. You know, you get through one situation, and then the next one comes, and the next one comes, and that's the business of life. That's the echo that takes us from one place to another. And we are never presented, whether it's a physical challenge or a social challenge or a mental challenge or a spiritual challenge, we are never presented with something that inside us, through our long history, we do not have some point of reference to or power to alter for the good, for our own good. You know, and one of the things that are happening on the planet at this moment is that we have residual fear of death. Profound fear of death and dying. We're much more aware of it today than we've ever been before. And so the challenge for us is to overcome death, overcome the fear of death. And as we do, we'll be able to meet our bodies in a different way, that the body isn't doing it to you. No. The body is just reacting because you're not telling it what to do. It's like a child that has no one to guide it. Or a puppy who doesn't know the difference between a shoe and a bone and the telephone book. Because no one is there to say this but not that. And that's what we want to do with autoimmune. What will be the next one? But I love autoimmune disease because it's really saying, hey, discover who you are, discover your purpose.